Hey everyone, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've made a vlog. Yeah, I feel like I always do this. I always come back, and I always say it's been a long time, whatever. And yeah, I just have a hard time. It seems trying to consistently make videos. But anyway, all that aside, I'm just gonna kind of jump right into the main point. I wanted to make this video about a subject that I'm having a very hard time wrapping my head around, so to speak, right now. um, and of course, that subject is love. Um, I've personally, I've personally only loved three women in my entire life. 21 years old, and my first love I met at 17. My second at age 20, and my third at age 21. I know a lot of people say that you should never regret anything. I honestly regret loving all three of these individuals. Uh, it's they, you know, the, and I'll go into a little bit of detail. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to share too much of those chapters of my life because they're very personal to me, and there's certain things about them I'd like to just keep to myself. But I will share a little bit um, of each relationship. The minimum anyway. The first one was interesting. Sorry, Facebook. It lasted a good while, and that was the first time I had ever truly loved somebody, outside of family and friends, of course. I think love is all the same, I would say, when it comes down to its most bare bone definition, by my standard, anyhow. Love. Of course, is a subjective term. I'm sure it has a different definition to different people. But for me, its most bare bone definition is uh, caring so much about somebody that you would absolutely put them before you, at any cost, any situation. Um, but there's different brands of love, though. Friends, family. Relationship wise, this woman was the first person I had ever felt that way for, as far as relationships go. And I was pretty young then. I was 17. But that is the first time in my life that I had ever really cared about someone that way in a relationship. I had thought that I'd been in love before, but I really wasn't up until I met that person. Um, of course, it did end. I mean, obviously, we're not together anymore, so it ended, obviously. And I was really broken up about it for a long time. I'd say it took maybe a year just before I could really, feel normal again. You know, it's hard when you lose somebody you love. I mean, I and when I say lose, I mean I don't necessarily mean when they lose their life. I mean when they walk out of your life and they no longer play the part that they used to play. It's hard. It's hard to readjust from that. um, so that was the first time. I obviously have no feelings for this individual anymore. Um, you know, I it's a rough situation. It's a tough situation. Excuse me. I don't. I did say that I regretted loving these three, but if I would say that if I did regret loving this one, it would be the least regret. I feel out of the three women that I have loved. Then there was, you know, the second person that I'd fell in love with when I was 20. This relationship was a nightmare. I won't even mix words about it. It was a complete and total nightmare. All she did was use me, and it sucked because I just wanted to just do everything I could to make her happy. I wanted to show this girl how much I really did love her, and I did. But it was borderline abuse. I mean, she didn't beat me, or she didn't, you know, like rape me or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not laughing at rape. It's just, you know, I find that I'm 6 feet tall and 185 pounds. I find it hard to imagine, you know, like a 115-pound small girl, you know, manhandling me like that. But anyway, that's aside the point. That was stupid. No, I mean, she manipulated me a lot. I'm not gonna go into very much detail about that, but she really did. And basically, by the time the relationship was over, I had no feelings of. I wasn't disheartened at all. I wasn't sad at all. I was happy that it was over. You know, I was just happy that I didn't have to endure what she put me through anymore. Because, like I said, it sucked. You know, in that situation, that's the first time I learned that sometimes it really is better to listen to your head than it is your heart. People always tell you to follow your heart, and you should. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but there are going to be situations where you're going to have to either listen to your head or to your heart. And my head was telling me one thing, and my heart was telling me something entirely different, and I listened to my heart foolishly. You have to learn to discern between which one to listen to, and which one you have to decide what makes sense and what's best for you. You owe that to yourself. And then, lastly, there was my most recent relationship. I'm sure those who know me really well know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna drop any names at all. I'm not gonna go into very much detail at all about this relationship. But when it ended, that is the hardest breakup I've ever gone through. No rejection has ever penetrated my heart like that one did. And it was a complete 180 from the second person that I gave my love to, because with this situation, we basically only had happy times, you know, and it was very hard for me to come to terms with that and just let go of that, because I still think about it, you know. I still think about all the great times we had together, and just all the things we talked about, and, you know, everything we shared together, and you know, it makes me smile still. And sorry, my notifications are going off left and right. And it makes me sad that it's not there anymore, honestly. You know, as opposed to the second relationship, which was nothing but misery, excuse me. When it ended, I felt more free than anything. After this relationship ended, I felt more shamed than I ever did in my life. I mean, I didn't even want to sleep for a long time because I would dream about everything that happened, or I would dream about her, and I would dream about, you know, all the fun times we shared and all that stuff. It's been a while since that came to an end, and you know, I've picked myself up nicely. You know, I'm recovering pretty well. You know, I'm confident again. I'm doing the things that make me happy again, as opposed to just trying to make somebody else happy. And that feels good. It feels good to be my own guy again. You know, but it leaves me. But it's I've got this fear inside me now. I don't want to let myself be vulnerable again, because I don't ever want to feel like I did when my heart got broken, basically, and it got broken bad. In fact, you know, I'm not so sure I have much of a heart to give anymore, to be perfectly honest. But it it yeah, it really put a fear in me, and I don't want to. I don't ever want to make myself vulnerable like that again. But you know, to truly love something, at least in my opinion, you have to be vulnerable. You know, you have to. It's as I described in my personal description. You have to be willing to basically give yourself entirely to somebody if you're really willing to say that you love them. And, you know, as far as loving another woman, at this point in my life, this particular point in my life right here, I'm not sure I can do that anymore. But more importantly than that, I'd like to know what everybody else thinks of this subject, though. What do you think of love? What does it mean to you? Do you believe in it? Have you ever been hurt the way that I described before? And do you believe in it now? Did you pick yourself back up? And just let me know what your thoughts are. I'd really like to know. And whether it be comments, or messages, I appreciate. You know, I would definitely appreciate your feedback with how you feel about the subject, and even more so than that, I'd really appreciate a response in a video and a vlog like I'm doing right now. But you know, I would definitely love to hear what other people think about it, and I would love to hear other people's feedback. All right, peace.